On a beautiful Friday evening, the backdrop to the first game of the year was the San Bernardino Mountains. The Santa Margarita Eagles taking on the Redlands East Valley Wildcats at Citrus High School. Hello everybody, I'm Paul Higgins. A new start for the Eagles with their new head coach, Brent Wieselmeyer. It would be an exciting night of football with a great deal of anticipation in the air, let alone how this young Eagle team would perform. And that question would be answered pretty quickly. The Eagles come out on offense first, and they go through the air. Here, Colt Fulton connects with Michael Buckley, and Buckley does a good job of going across the middle for a few extra yards. That play sets up this one as Colt, the left-hander, looks downfield and finds a wide-open Tyler Wetmore, and the Eagles score their first touchdown of the season. That made it 6-0. And then, of course, the PAT right up through the uprights. The cheerleaders, everybody on the Eagles side, definitely happy with that 7-0 lead as the Eagles led early in this one. Good defense also for Santa Margarita as their defensive line and linebackers came to play. And just wait until you see the secondary. This pass might have been caught, but Tyler Whitman makes his presence known. How about Derek Wilkins? A huge hit, so much so, the helmet comes off. The Wildcats had an aggressive offensive approach. Here they go back to the run, but not much there, as the defensive line comes up to make another big play. The Wildcats throw over the middle, this time completed to the 42-yard line. But then, Drew Sulik and Anthony Camestro come up and make a great tackle on the ball carrier. Coach Wieselmeyer on the sidelines coaching up his team as both coach and players get to know each other. Joshua Contreras, wow, what a great catch this would be, and a really good pass by Fulton. He catches it, turns inside, and Contreras did a good job of waiting on that ball. How about this huge hit? Even though he didn't catch the ball, Drew Sulik was there. Ian Grogren will be on the other end of this Fulton pass. Fulton with plenty of time to throw it. He finds Grogren in the open field. Ian played this ball perfectly as he gets open, looks upfield, throws out the stiff arm for a few extra yards. Billy Oberholzer is on the other end of this Fulton pass, and he shows he can take a hit. The Eagles had fumbled the ball, but then they record a safety when the snap goes to the back of the end zone. The Wildcats come up with a big defensive play here as the ball is tipped and goes into the hands of the defender. Also new to the SM staff is Coach Tim Halt, the offensive coordinator and the coach of the offensive line. As he talks to his offensive line, well, the defense shows their stuff. Jalen Jones comes up with an interception, one of several on the night for the Eagles. Taylor Wetmore, what a play this would be. It would be a great pass, but Wetmore drops the ball. He catches that ball 9 times out of 10. Proof positive on the very next play. They do it again. Wetmore on the other end of this one, touchdown. Talk about a great call. That would give the Eagles a 17-0 lead, and it would get better. An instinctive football play as Pono Kama turns back towards quarterback, sees his eyes, sees the ball, picks it up, and he will go all the way for a pick 6. How about it? The Eagles led 23-0. So it was a fantastic start here at Citrus Valley High School on the cusp of the San Bernardino Mountains. And what a night it would be. The Wildcats would come back with their own strike, a great pass and a great catch as they go all the way for a touchdown, 23-7, to make things interesting. How would this young Eagles football team react to being scored upon? Well, Mark Ard has the answer for you. How about that huge hit on the other sidelines? And then Jalen Jones, he had his eye on this ball, and at the last second, swats it away. Santa Margarita showing some very good talent and young talent in the secondary. Mark Ard, well, check it out. He goes up for the ball, making a great play on it. No one's going to catch him. A pick 6 for the second time in this game for the Eagles. They led 30-7. Once again, you see it from ground level. He goes up and gets it. He's off to the races. No one is going to be near him. So the Eagles, they were up 30-7, and Nick Barcelos, well, it was time for him to run the football. This young man gained momentum and strength throughout the course of this game, especially in the fourth quarter, as he carried this Eagle football team down the field with punishing and brutal runs, a sign of what's to come for the Eagles' ground game. Once again, he goes left, finds a hole, and again carries a couple tacklers with him. big runs by Barcelos would get the Eagles into field goal territory. They would add 3 points and go on to win their first game of the season by the score of 33-14. After the game, I talked to Coach Wieselmeyer. Coach Wieselmeyer, one underneath your belt, feels pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to get the first one out of the way, absolutely.
Tell me about this. Defense really rose to the occasion. On both sides of the ball, you played really good, but that defense really shined.
They did a good job. You know, we get a few big plays that we're going to go back and try to correct, but for the young guys, they did a really good job. Proud of them. So.
When you look at this team at where they are, only the first game of the season, you got to see them hit somebody else. I know you did last week, but a game tonight, and you actually got to see him play. Your thoughts as you assess this driving back on the bus?
Well, I think anytime you have a young set of guys and they've been through hard practice for a long time, it gets sort of old. So it's nice to play somebody else, number one. I know the scrimmage was a little bit, but this is just fun to sort of go out and compete. And, you know, you're going to make some mistakes, you're going to do some good things, and it's just how we're going to improve from this. So.
You mentioned young team. Now they got one game underneath their belt. How do you proceed to next week's game, another big non-conference game?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work. You know, they do a good job. They got a very, very talented team. They got some a little bit more experience than we do, but that's okay. You know, I'm excited to see how we'll perform, and when the lights come on, we'll see who shows up. It'll be good.
Welcome to Santa Margarita.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Coming up on Friday night, the Eagles take on the Diablos of Mission Viejo. For now, and for Athletes in Motion, I'm Paul Higgins. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.